Might be a little surreal moment, a little bit.
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh,
I was like, this is the goal. I want people to come here and be like, this is the artistic bike capital of the world too, or something.
Yeah. So we're starting. So I'll let my guests introduce their names because I'm terrible. I just got Jason's name.
Andrew.
Andrew. And you guys, well, Jason, I'll start with you. You're kind of, in a weird way, I like to say, Mr. Bentonville, because you're in the mountain bike scene. You're known for photography and also painting bikes, and then also wraps, I guess. And then that's where you come in.
Yep.
But do you feel that way at all?
Yeah, I feel like I quickly became the photography mountain bike guy. It wasn't meant to be that way, but that happened a couple of years ago. I was just out shooting all the time, and before I knew it, it was a business because I was the only one doing it, and everybody's like, oh, you should make this a business. And before I knew it, I was. And then I had plans for years to make a custom bike painting shop. So then last year I started that, and it's been doing really good. And then met Andrew, and he moved here for mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Never been here before. He seen it online and just found a place and moved here a few 3-4 months ago. Really.
Yeah, 4 months ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I messaged Jason, and we were talking back and forth for a couple months before I moved. I was just asking him questions, chit chatting, and then first day I came here, met him, and we've just kind of hit it off.
Custom wraps, and I do paint, so it goes hand in hand together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I do frame protection. That's a big part of what I do is frame protection. So
bikes.
he's painting them, I'm protecting them.
So let me start with the mountain biking photography. Where you're like, hey, this is pretty cool. So let me just take out some.
I was a photographer in Miami, so I had all the equipment and the experience. I did architectural photography there, or I assisted actually. So I traveled around and did places like Sandals Resorts and all these just big hotels all around the country and world. And so then I took my lights and started combining it here. I just had the equipment and stuff still, and but it everybody liked it, and so
yeah,
kept doing it. One of the reasons I'm not doing it as much anymore and don't want to as much is because the thing about when that's your full-time job, you have to work when it's nice out. I moved here to ride bikes, not to take pictures of them.
Yeah, so someone asked me, they're like, because I've showed a bunch of people around that like are new to the area, or you see them with their phone, like, where do I go? Where do I go? I'm sure you guys have seen that. So I'll show them where they're, I'll help them out. Someone's like, oh, you should just start a tour business. I'm like, no, I moved here to just ride, that sounds great, and I would love to help people, but I feel like you would be so much wrapped up in that, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
We're working on all of that. Yeah. And we're trying to, at least the tours though, we feel like versus some of the other stuff, you're getting paid to go ride.
Yeah.
So it's a little better than like taking pictures where I don't even get to be on a bike. But yeah, there's a lot of options here.
And Andrew, where'd you move from?
Massachusetts.
Okay.
Lived there my whole life, 38 years. And one day, me and my wife decided, let's go do something else. So we both left our job. 26 years her, there 17 years for me.
Bring that mic a little closer.
And so we just decided that we were going to move somewhere we can do more mountain biking, better weather, things like that. So we just said, let's do it. And we did.
You guys are in the mountain biking or outdoors up there?
Yeah, we were doing mountain biking. I actually rode every weekend in Massachusetts, which through snow, everything. Yeah. Every single weekend. And I was like, well, I don't enjoy this as much. So if I can reduce the snow part, let's do it. So that's why we moved down here. They don't get as much snow. So
was there any other areas you were going to choose, or
we always looked at California, but cost of living is just insane. One of the ideas of moving here was I would be able to build a business and afford to live because cost of living is so much cheaper here. So that was one of the big deals. If we moved to California, I was going back to an operations manager, same job I was doing, where I wasn't happy. So I didn't want to do that. So that was the key. So we're like, all right, if we can go here, cost of living's pretty pretty cheap. She gets a full-time job that'll cover at least the mortgage. I'll work on our business, you know, vinyl wrapping and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that vinyl wrapping I'd been doing for about 7 years. Me and my wife did it. She did it full-time. I did it part-time. We worked on everything from Bugattis, Ferraris, Lamborghinis.
Really?
We traveled all around to custom shops and would do work at the shops for our customers' cars and things like that. And yeah, it was something that started out as a hobby and just continued to grow and grow and grow. And then at the start of COVID, everybody stopped doing custom car stuff.
Yeah.
And I got a promotion at my job, so I was like, you know what? I was like, let's, you know, push the business to the side. We'll focus on our careers. And then a year later, all that changed and decided to move here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've been here 4 months?
4 months, yep.
Love it?
Love it.
Yeah.
Best decision I've ever made, yeah.
Yeah, so what kind of, I gotta ask, so what kind of bike you ride?
I have a Forbidden Dreadnought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I've never seen that.
List all of his bikes?
Yeah, that's my main one.
Okay, yeah, your main, I should say.
So I came here with 2 bikes. I now have 5.
Jeez.
I had like 3 bikes delivered like at my house in like one day. We were just like unboxing bike after bike. I'm like, jeez, dude.
Jeez, oh Pete, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, my Dreadnought's my main bike.
Okay.
You know, very high end dream build bike, built solely off of ride wraps. So one of the ideas when I got into mountain biking, it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
So when I got into mountain biking, I was like, well, I like having the best of things that I can get. So one way I could support that was by doing the clear films on mountain bikes. So I started doing that, and now over 100 ride wraps in. Everything on my bike was paid for with ride wraps. So
nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard of Forbidden. I don't know too much about them, but they seem to be pretty good reviews on it.
Yeah, it's a great bike. It's high pivot. It really smooths out the trails. I like it a lot. I'm not good enough to know if it makes me any faster or better, but like to me, I can feel the difference when I go over bumps and things like that. So for me, I thought it was great. So
yeah.
I've loved it so far. I've had it just about a year now. I ordered the day it came out, and yeah, I've fell in love with it and been going ever since.
Back to your comment about almost moving to California. I've met 5 or 6 people from California moved here.
Yep.
So you probably made a better move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yep. This and when we moved here, we didn't have a house or anything like that. We rented an Airbnb for a month. We were like, you know what? We're not settling into anything. We're not saying yes 100%. We moved here, started looking at houses. Really liked the area. Got, you know, lay of the land. Figured everything out, and we said, yep, this is where we want to be, and bought a house within. We put an offer in within the first 2 weeks of being here. First offer we did, accepted, under asking.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm in the market right now. I did a apartment for 6 months, and I got to the end of March, so I'm kind of shopping around now.
Yeah.
I know, like, Bella Vista's on the rise. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's not quite there yet, and it's still very retirement-ish a little bit.
Exactly. I live right by Lake Avalon, and I don't know anyone that's even close to my age in the area, which is a good and a bad thing. You know, it's good because it's quiet. There's no loud cars or anything going on in the area, but obviously this is not really no one in my neighborhood mountain bikes, so that's one of the things that kind of stinks is like I can't chat with my neighbors about mountain biking because nobody there mountain bikes, but it is great. I do love the access to everything. I mean, the trails are right behind me. I got Little Sugar, Bamboozled, Lake Avalon's right there. I can ride. It's a 1 mile ride to Huntley. Yeah. So it's great. I love the location.
Yeah, I had to go to a customer to their house. That road up behind, is it McAdoo's? What's the liquor store?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it goes up behind the dealership.
Yep.
And we're up there, and I was talking to them. I was like, oh, that's a nice little area. And she's like, oh, yeah. And we look around, like 3 of her neighbors are out, and they were all like 60, 70. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I think my neighbor on the right is about 80. My neighbor on the left is, I think he's like 75.
Wow. Yeah. So, Jason, how long have you been here?
2.5 years about.
Okay. In that 2.5 years, how much has this place grown?
It seems like it's grown fast.
Yeah, it took me forever. For today was the most traffic I ever dealt with since I've been here. It's over the summer.
It's definitely so. We took the first place we could find. We were just renting a house in Rogers at first when we got here, and it was killing me. I wanted to be in Bentonville because that's why I moved here, so I could jump on trails and ride from the house. So, and I just was watching real estate go up and up and up. So we last May we got a house. We bought this house, and it's been awesome. When it's nice out, I just go down A Street and go straight to Slaughterpen. Yeah,
actually, I didn't know this subdivision even existed. I mean, you're like right in here, and it's like tucked away.
Yeah, we got lucky. It was the first. Everybody tells us like these stories of like 6 months to find a place.
Yeah,
it took us 3 days.
Wow. Yeah.
3 days and put an offer in. Nobody else even tried, and we got it.
So with the bike painting, were you into painting like back in like way back when, or what
yeah? So out of high school back in let's see, I graduated from a collision refinishing, trim and upholstery custom street rod school in Wyoming called Wyotech in 2004. So then I worked kind of like his background with wraps. I did all exotic cars and Lamborghinis and even a lot of celebrity vehicles and stuff in Miami, except for I did paint work on them. And then I got into the boat world, and I've worked in custom upholstery shops and custom paint shops and custom painting multi-million-dollar paint jobs on like boats for like companies like Geico and stuff.
Wow.
So painted Lil Wayne's car, like people like that, and I got burnt out on it, and just then I started doing. I actually worked in a strip club for about 6 years. Money was really good.
Not stripping, I don't think.
Were you on
I can't dance.
Were you on that show, Cocaine Cowboys? I mean,
I actually do know what's his name? Nicky Monday. I know him.
Okay.
I've worked security at some his parties and stuff down the street from me.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, I know a lot of people from those shows and stuff. Yeah, so I moved here from Miami. I was there for 20 years, and like I said, I did about 20 years custom car work, and got out of like 6 years ago, and then I didn't like doing cars, but bikes are so much smaller, and so I was like, oh, I'll paint bikes because I like bikes. So that's what I started doing now, bikes and helmets.
So were you even into mountain biking or anything down in Miami?
Yeah, I moved here so I was actually like about 4 years ago, me and my wife moved from Miami back home to Iowa, where I'm originally from.
Okay.
We had just met in Miami, me and my wife. We dated for I think 2 months, and she's from Brazil, and we got married. And then we moved to my parents in Iowa, and just to figure out what we were going to do next step. I was actually had some job interviews lined up back in Miami at some custom car shops, and people kept telling me when I was in Iowa about Bentonville because everybody rides bikes here and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I got to check it out. So we came here. It was I think 2020 in January. We came in December. I pretty much when I got into town, I seen A Street with the jumps on the side of the sidewalk. I was like, well, we're moving here. And
you never hit those jumps either, right?
Yeah, I don't. And then by January...
You gotta work for them.
Yeah, those are too much work.
By January, we moved here. So I ended up not going to Miami and then hustling ever since. My goal was to start some type of business to where I get to ride bikes and be around bike people all day. So it took about 6 months, but then Bentonville Mtb started, and that took off, and now it's got... lots of other things we're working on.
Yeah, I would say, 6 months in, I'm with this podcast, meeting people and like people like you guys, it all kind of domino affected not till like late October, and then it was kind of like, oh, here you gotta meet this person, here this. And I'm just like, whoa! It almost kind of was like all at once. I'm like so thankful, but at the same time, like I gotta start scheduling a lot of people. So yeah, that's cool. So the what's his name, Jeremy Rose's bike that you just did?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that thing's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So is that all like just in your head and how you put that out there?
So his is about 4 ideas later. Before I redid it a few times because I wasn't happy with it, and which happens on a lot of them. It's like I have like a basic plan of what the theme is and colors, but what works best for me is I actually just start working on it, and I visualize it in my head, and I start to see things. So with his, I did like 3 or 4 different things, and they just weren't working. And then finally, I tried something, and it clicked, and I'm like, that's it. And then finished it, and that's how it usually is. Like, I'll try to Photoshop ideas and stuff, but
yeah, it's hard.
They only work to a certain
extent.
Get
you started, basically.
Yeah, but 99% of the time, I get the paint on there, and I start looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, this will look better this way, and I start to change it as I go, and just.
I hope you never become a tattoo artist. People will be upset.
Well, that's the other thing that happens. People have always, why don't you be a tattoo artist? I'm like, because I can't just do what they ask. If somebody wants an elephant on them, it might look like a really good dragon. Like it ends up looking really good, but it doesn't usually end up like how it was supposed to be. I'm just good at making whatever it ends up looking good. It's kind of my skill, is just taking mistakes or turning it to something creative.
So when you, like you said, it took 6 months, was that more photography, or is that more about the painting stuff? That
was photography. The painting I just started 6 months ago, maybe.
Yeah, photography, it's taking off.
Yeah, it's starting. It's just the hardest part is getting the word out there.
Yeah,
it's growing. I think one of the key things I'm trying to do right now, I've been having the prices pretty low, is just I'm trying to get helmets and bikes out there, like as many as I can this winter. So then summer comes, like they're all over on the trails, and people are talking and stuff. So I think that's the biggest challenge, but it's happening. I went riding a couple of months ago. Was that like a month ago?
Yeah.
There was like 6 of us all on my painted bikes. Like it was me, Jeremy, Brennan. Who else was with us? It was like Caleb. Yeah, there was the whole group, like 5 or 6 of us, all had custom painted bikes from me. Funny. I was like, this is what I want. Yeah. And then we went to Leatherwood.
Yeah.
And a couple months ago, and we were on the shuttle bus. There was like 4 or 5 of us with custom painted helmets from me on the bus. That's randomly there.
That might be a little surreal moment. A little bit.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, this is the goal. I want people to come here and be like, this is the artistic bike capital of the world too, or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more than just the green and blue mountain bike capital of the world. It's also
now you guys have teamed up with wraps, so you're like photography, which you kind of want to dissipate a little bit, but then you got paint, and now you're also doing wraps.
Yep.
How has business been so far with that?
Good. It works great together because he's doing these great paint jobs where he's spending days and days painting them, and then I'll see a bike that was done before I was here, and there's chips in it, and they put their own clear film on, and it has bubbles all over it. It's crooked, and it's just stuff that like it drives him crazy because he just spent all this time painting, and now you got a crooked thing on the bike. So these two things working together is great. And then with the ride wraps, it's very universal. I mean, and most people are spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on a bike. What's $250 to fully protect it? Cover 99% of your bike with clear film. You really can't beat that investment, because now you drop your bike, you scratch it, whatever, you peel the ride wrap off, it's still good underneath most of the time. So it's just that peace of mind is huge. Like I said, custom wraps are not as big of a thing. I do a few of them, but it's probably only like 2% of my business is custom wraps. It's mostly the clear film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will you like go into like colors or something like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So with bikes, obviously it's impossible to do it without a seam. There's no way to do it. So vinyl, you do need a seam somewhere. So the idea is, I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I know how to hide seams. I know where to put them. I know what's going to look right, what's going to look bad. Because that's the biggest part. Is like, if you could wrap your own bike, it might be 150 pieces, but you could do it.
Yeah.
It's just that's the thing that you're paying for. You're paying for the up close. Is it going to look good up close? Most people don't believe my bike is even wrapped because you can't see a seam on it.
Really?
Because I know how to hide the seam. So it's very important thing when you're doing these, and that's what I always tell people. They're like, can I do it myself? I'm like, you can. Are you okay with it only looking good from 10 feet away?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're paying me for. That's where it comes in. So I'd say that's probably the biggest part with those. But yeah, we do custom colors. Like I just did a Rocky Mountain. If you check on the Instagram page, we did the whole bike in like a charcoal gray and did a yellow metallic through the middle of the frame. So gave it a nice little look. It's an e-bike, so it's got a huge frame. So we wanted to like take away from that so it doesn't look so big. So we ghosted the logos on the side. It was great because we were able to airbrush and vinyl wrap all in the same thing.
Experimenting with. We're painting on. Yeah. So people, if they're worried about a warranty issue or anything like that, some people are just scared to go into their new bikes. Well, we're offering now, and it's working great. We've been playing around with it. Is he can wrap them. I can airbrush art and stuff on it, on the vinyl, and then he, instead of clear coating over it, he just puts the ride wrap over that, which protects the airbrushing.
Yeah.
And now you have removable art on there.
That's pretty cool. Is there any competitors that even have that, really?
No.
Never heard of that before, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have a shop yet, or is it more online? Or like...
just kind of out of the houses. He's got a
backyard
booth.
And now the inside of the house, I turned into Four Seasons room into a shop.
Yeah, I have a spare bedroom I turned into a shop at my house. It's all lined up with tools, all set up nice and clean, neat, nice place to work. So.
As far as I know, I've been looking all the time. I've only found like 3 custom bike painters. I mean, that's what they do full time in America. Like that I know of. I'm guessing there's probably some other ones, but that I've found so far, there's like 3 of us, and then like there's quite a few in the UK, and there's like fresh paints of Whistler and stuff. But yeah, I
remember 2 bikes ago, it got it had some chips on it. I was like, I'm gonna get it painted. I couldn't find anybody. Yeah. I mean, we're going back like, I don't know, at least 7 years. And my buddy's like, and I found one guy who's like, man, for the cost of that, just buy a new bike. I'm like, well, I mean, because the bike was cheap. It was like, it was like whatever online bike. What is that? Bikes Direct. So it wasn't really worth it. But I was like, man, I don't have that kind of money. And then I ended up just saving. And then I got that hardtail you see on the back there that I just ride that until I get my Switchblade, which I'll never go back to a hardtail.
It's brutal.
It's brutal. Yep. Even if you're like, I'll say it is good, like in Bella Vista, like where you live for training. But man, I can't get back on the next day. It's just, it hurts too much.
Yep, I can imagine. It's been so many years since I had that.
No, exactly.
I think it was only my first. It was my first bike. After I had a Walmart bike to see, like 10 years ago, I had a Walmart bike, and I was like, I'm gonna get a bike and ride around in Miami, and I'm just gonna get a Walmart one and see if I actually ride it before I get something nice. Yeah. And then my first real bike, $500 was like my first real one. Yeah. It was a hardtail. I was like, but then full suspension.
Yeah, once you go full suspension, there's no going back.
Suspension carbon always.
Yeah. My first one was a Pivot Trail 429, and so I'm like riding it, but I have hardtail like mindset where you got to find get like a clean line. My buddy's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "You can just barrel through that." And then once I figured that out, I'm like, "Oh, this is a game changer."
Yeah, I was exactly.
Like, so.
Gives you that extra level of confidence. It's like it just feels that I'm a little bit better, like jumping and doing drops. Like I did a drop on a hardtail. I'll never do that again.
You guys do drop the hammer?
I did drop the hammer.
I haven't. I don't do drops.
What do you think? It's easy, and
it's so easy.
It's butter.
It's so easy.
That's what everybody says.
It's ridiculously easy. You don't even have to go fast. Like,
no, it's like 2 cranks. Boom.
Yeah. Yep.
No, once I switched to the Switchblade. 2021, it was even more of a game changer of a ride. Now living out here,
modern geometry.
I'm just like, what? This is amazing.
Is that the blue one, or?
I got the one that's like green, the Switchblade.
Was 21 when they did the new body style again? They made some changes.
I believe 2020, and then 2021 they added more colors. I think I could be wrong.
Maybe,
but I don't know. So with the wrap, is there any kind of warranty you offer the customer? Or anything?
I typically offer like a 5-year warranty, not damage, but if the vinyl's lifting, that's something I did wrong. That's how I look at it. Most people don't keep their bikes that long, so but I mean, it's the other part of doing a vinyl wrap is you're also protecting it with that as well. So I suggest doing a ride wrap over a vinyl wrap. Like the vinyl is not that thick; it's not made to protect the paint. The ride wrap is made for that. It's more rubbery. It's a thicker material. So it typically goes hand in hand. You do the wrap and then you put a ride wrap over it. But I offer a 5-year warranty. If any defects or anything like that, I'll repair it or replace the part. No problem.
I had a wrap or a clear coat, whatever, however you want to call it, on my bike, my old bike for like I swear it was like a week, and I didn't like where you could see like it just got the top tube, and then it was done at the side, the sides. I'm like, I just didn't. It just bothered me a little bit. So you guys say, you told me it's seamless. You don't have that. Yeah.
So with a ride wrap kit, ride wrap's a brand. That's what I use for most of them, unless they're not available. But with the ride wrap brand, it covers about 97% of your bike. There's a small like 5mm seam or 4mm seam between each piece, so you can't do it in one piece. It's impossible. But they're all cut specifically for the bike, specifically for the size, everything. So everything comes very close together and butts up. So you're covering so much of the bike. It's great. It's you can see the edges, but the better material has better edges too. So Ride Wrap is a very quality material. They actually make their own film. Most companies just use a car film and throw it on bikes. Ride Wrap actually makes their own film specifically for mountain bikes. It's much thicker, self-healing. It's a really good film. They actually just did an announcement on Vital MTB the other day of the film, but I've been testing it for about a year now. The first day I used it, I called Ride Wrap and I said, "Did you guys change your film?" And they're like, "Yeah, is everything okay? We sent you it. We wanted to see your opinion without telling you. We just sent you a roll of it." And I was like, "I was calling to tell you that it's amazing." And they were like, "That's our own film. We designed it in-house." And
wow.
Yeah, and they connected me with the actual engineer that designed it. Me and him were chatting for probably a good hour, talking about the film and what they did and all these different things that they're working on and stuff like that. It was really cool to hear that they actually care about mountain biking.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I like about Ride Wrap. They support their vendors. The other companies don't really care about people doing. They only want to get bike shops. They don't care about the guy just doing, clear film at his house or doing it mobily at bike shops and things like that. They want the bike shop to buy it from. So it's a little tough to get accounts with the other companies and things like that. So I typically support Ride Wrap because they support me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that all worked out. So do you think down the road you'll want to make your own film?
So Ride Wrap actually just started offering complete kits that you can actually cut in-house. So I think that's going to be my next step. That way, if you wanted to book your bike, I don't have to order it. I can cut it the day you drop the bike off. Yeah. Where right now I would need a deposit and I would have to order the material and they would ship it to me. So they just started offering that. I think that's kind of really all you really need, because designing the kits, you have to scan every bike, every size, every variation of bike. It's just so much work. Yeah. You can do custom clear film as well. It's a lot more expensive because it's very time consuming, because a Ride Wrap kit's like 4 hours, where if you were doing it custom it could be 8. But you can cover a little bit more because now you don't need a 4mm gap. You can butt them together. Yeah. So you do get a little bit better coverage, but like I said, it's much more time consuming, so it does, it is going to cost more. Yeah. But yeah, I think offering that in-house cutting and having the availability, if somebody goes to a bike shop today, I will be able to install the film today. Wow. So that, I think that's going to be pretty much a game changer for me. They just announced it a couple of weeks ago, so that'll be the next step for the business, to get that going.
So speaking of getting a bike today, someone just got a bike, right? You just did that one. What was it? You want to tell me about what you got?
A Niner.
Niner WFO.
Yeah, that's it. E-bike, that's all I know.
Yeah.
180 travel.
Oh, 180, 180.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Jeez.
And your first time riding an e-bike?
Yeah. Let me correct. I have rode one. I didn't want to say it, but I have rode one like this, but not like out on a trail. Never been on one on a trail.
That.
Yeah. But that thing was quick.
Yeah, I'm anxious to get it out there and actually try it out.
So where do you think you're going to take it first? What trail?
Whatever's dry.
Yeah, how much longer do you think we got? It's got to be dry soon, right?
Man, I would
say
think
by this weekend, I would say it should be pretty good. I mean, Bella Vista looks decent. All the snow's gone, in the area. So I was going to check it actually tomorrow morning, kind of check out.
It's got to be getting close. It's been nice out last few days.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be dry. Unfortunately, be out of town this weekend.
No, it figures.
Yeah, I know. But I'll be riding in Tennessee, so it'll be nice and dry. Have you guys ever been there, Knoxville?
No. Not mountain biking, but I've been.
Yeah, same.
It's good.
I've heard good things about some places in Tennessee.
Their dirt's weird. Literally, when you're done, it looks like they put like little sparkles in it because it's like sandy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what's going on? First of all, I thought like I don't know what it was. I was like, there's like sparkles all over my bike. But then the other dirt's just goofy. But it grips so well.
Nice. Oh, nice.
There's a popular place.
I know.
Windrock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Windrock.
Yeah.
So that's like an hour from where we'll be riding.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a lot of good things about that.
No, that's good too, man. You got pros training there, so it's a good spot. It's crazy. When I first moved to Arkansas, I couldn't adjust to so many rocks. I would always ride like real top heavy, a lot of rocks, and I was riding like top heavy. I'm like, and this one guy's like, "How do you adjust to the rocks?" I go, "I don't know. I'm not there yet."
I don't know. You tell me.
But then you just kind of like, obviously if there's big round ones, kind of dodge those, but you just kind of let the bike rip, and it will grip. It's
the loose rocks that I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Like when I go to like Leatherwood and stuff, I'm so used to these. I've gotten spoiled with these groomed trails here.
Yeah.
When I actually ride something that's
Natural.
loose, I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, I haven't been out there yet. People say so many good things.
Yeah, it's fun.
Amazing. Yeah.
So, is the shuttle out there? Is it every day or just like weekends?
I believe the city shuttles every day.
Is it Thursday?
Slaughter Trails, I believe, does specific days. But
I think Thursday through Sunday or something.
like
Okay.
that, yeah.
And
But on an e-bike, you don't need a shuttle.
yeah. Oh, you don't need to use it at all.
No.
I mean,
The
it's
e-bike actually gets to the top faster than the shuttle.
yeah. And doesn't the shuttle like stop and you still gotta like climb a little bit?
Yeah, there's some pedaling from the top, like where it drops.
There's
you
like
off.
a little hub at the top, and you have to choose which hub you're going to go to.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
a
Both
little
have a
bit.
little
It's
pedal
very
into it,
minimal,
gets
but
it.
yeah.
What's better, that or Ponca?
I've never been to Ponca yet.
Yeah.
I've heard it's good too, though.
Yeah.
Zoe said Ponca was like she liked that over everything. If
Who's
that was
that?
Zoe March.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, if that was like here, she's like, it'd be, because it's
I've
like
heard a lot of good things, yeah.
But
I can
That's
see
on,
that.
that's on the list to check out for sure.
so when you're doing helmets, just because you got some coming up, do you do any sanding or what kind of?
Oh, yeah.
A lot, like what kind? How does that process?
I spend more time prepping the helmets and bikes than I do actually the painting usually. Especially the helmets, surprisingly, most of them are taking longer to prep than a bicycle. It's just certain brands I'm finding are using
graphics they
weird
use.
films, and they have graphics that they clear over, and it's sometimes a nightmare with some of the helmets to just get everything stripped off them just so you can start.
Yeah.
Fresh canvas.
Yeah, fresh canvas, exactly.
So, what grit are you kind of starting with? Are you wet sanded or anything?
When it comes to the if they have like a lot of decals on them, like Troy Lee's doing stuff, I'll actually take an eraser wheel first. I do the same with bikes because they always have like, I don't know if it's a sublimation or vinyl.
Should I grab a helmet to explain?
If they have one.
Yeah, I have one. You can keep talking now.
But so I take a eraser wheel and I get rid of all the stickers that are on them first. So then from there, it's usually the clear is build up around it. So then you have to sand the clear flat. So I'll use it all depends. It also depends on the colors that you use. So if it's a solid color, your grits and stuff are less. Oh yeah, so this one's actually not. This right here would be the only thing that you have to take off, really.
So you can feel it. It has an edge to it.
So they just clear over top of that.
Yeah, it's basically almost a decal that they're
Then the rest you just
clearing
scuff.
it over.
So I grabbed my Smith Session, the helmet I wear most until I just got a new one. But so how long would that take?
Well, it all depends on what you want done to it. Obviously, like a solid color is going to be way quicker than doing some airbrush artwork on it. And then the thing about bike helmets too versus like motocross and all that is they're getting to have more and more vents in them everywhere, which is becoming harder and harder for me.
Still have to sand inside of these.
Yeah, everything has to get sanded. And then people still want these crazy big pieces of art, and there's no canvas at all. But they don't care. They still think that I'm like magic and I can just still do it. They're like, I want this, this, and this. And I'm like, you realize there's like this much space of like canvas to work with.
Yeah.
But, and then same with bikes though. People always want like huge things.
I wanted 10 portraits on his
Oh,
bike.
yeah, I never thought about that.
Like,
Yeah,
put them.
And then like,
It's gonna be this big.
well, and then like even Jeremy Rose, the Bike In, he wanted the logo on the front, and the Bike In's a pretty big logo, and the tube's like this big. So it gets challenging. And then I did my bike. I put Deadpool on the front, which was a crazy dumb idea I had, and I was obsessed with doing it, and I made it happen, but it took like a week. It was not easy to do things that small.
Are you gonna do anything to the e-bike?
Oh yeah. So I'm wanting to try something. I got to experiment around some more, but I've been wanting to forever combine the Bentonville Mtb and the bike painting. Okay. And I've always thought it'd be so cool if I could figure out a way to get like some of my top photos on a paint job.
Oh, that'd be sick.
So we're experimenting around with some sublimation type things and different things to try to do that. And so if I can get that figured out, then my bike will be like a collage of some of the best photos of Bentonville stuff.
That'd be, yeah, that'd
like
be
some
sweet.
of the jumps and drop the hammer and things like that.
So with the bike, how, like Jeremy's bike, are you saying that down the just almost the what it was?
The helmets I strip all the way down. The bicycles, I take all the stickers off and then I just sand them all smooth. So like I always tell people, a lot of people think that you need to take them down to bare metal or bare carbon. That's a myth. Like that's, if from the factory they have a good sealer on them, they have good primers, and unless it's flaking or chipping, there's no point in taking away that. Like you're just doing the same process and you already know you have a good foundation. So I take it down to that, and then you start with, I put an adhesion promoter on it, then I put my colors and clear coat, and I actually usually do it, I do it like a custom street run. I'll do it and paint it all, then I'll actually sand it flat and then clear it again and buff it all out to where it's a pet peeve of mine, like being able to feel this. And on bikes from the factory, I can, it's like, that's like embarrassing in the custom car world. Like you would never go to a car show and be able to feel like the artwork. That's like amateur stuff. So that's something you'll never feel any of my designs. Like it's supposed to look deep in there and like glass, and so everything gets sanded flat and
so you don't even like whatever brand, like let's just say Santa Cruz on top of my head, like if the letters were like on the
raised,
you
every bike so far I've ever seen, they're all like, because what they do is they just put the,
I think Santa Cruz is smooth. Have you done Santa Cruz?
Well, we have one right in there. We'll check today.
I feel like there's a brand that worked on that smooth.
I have never seen one yet that wasn't, and they've all got the same. The helmets and the bikes, whatever they're using, the sublimation or vinyl underneath, it's the same thing. They all put it on and from the factory, and they just put a coat or two of clear over it, and which is why you always feel it. Which I mean, I understand they're not going to take the time to sand it all, block it, and do it again. Like that would actually cost money. Time.
I'll let you, if you want to say who it was, but like on a bike brand, what have you seen? Like this is garbage of a paint job.
I can tell you some helmets.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I've had 2 Fox helmets within the last 2 or 3 weeks where the full face, the mouthpiece, was cracked on both of them. One's still brand new and with the tags on it. Hasn't even been worn yet.
I wonder,
$300-$400 helmet.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this, like not Fox helmets, but supply and demand. If they're just like making it cheap, get it out.
So what I've learned, well, I mean, what I've realized so far, working on like tons of helmets, I'm starting to see, it seems like the bigger companies, the main like 2 or 3, are the ones that are the most expensive are actually the cheapest, it's looking like.
Yeah.
And vice versa, like some of these smaller companies, their helmets seem to be better quality and nicer.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but
I think they're just mass producing, and they're all just they're taking advantage of having a good name.
Control,
yeah.
They're like, oh, we have a good name, so we can just put out anything.
Yeah, I'll say I almost bought, before I bought my Gyro Tyrant helmet that I just got, I almost bought a Fox, like their competitor. And I'm kind of glad I didn't go with it, because it doesn't, like, I know it's a 3/4 helmet, but the Fox one doesn't have, this is kind of fixed. Yeah. It's not adjustable. Yep. It's all one piece. Mm-hmm. There's none of this in the back. It's all like whatever. I'm like, man, I feel like I get that. I don't
super
like
expensive.
It. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it might have been more. I'm like, what? I'm not going to get that.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I've been noticing.
So far, I've been a big fan of Bell helmets.
Yeah.
And Bell's been great for me to work on too. They're nice, easy canvas. They sand good. No weird materials.
I say a Bell used to be, now I don't know now, they used to be not vented well, or they'd be heavy. I'm not sure how that is now though.
They are a little heavy, for
really?
Sure. Yeah. My wife's Bell helmet is definitely heavier than my Troy Lee helmet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now is on full face helmets, is that, since it's bigger material, a lot easier to deal with?
I would say
probably it's not downhill ones, the ones that are less vented, you know, the ones that are really like made for downhill usually have the like motorcycle style buckles on them.
Yeah.
You know, it's the vents that are hurting me more than anything. It's not, it's just, it doesn't even matter if full face or not full face, it's just the more vents and more weird things that they got going on, like it just, you know, a nice simple, that's why motocross helmets are great, because you don't have all these vents like a motocross helmet. They're car helmets, all those are like ideal to paint, like, but they keep getting more and more and more vents. I already painted a Cali for one of those ones with a million vents in it.
Yeah.
For Paul at Spoke Adventures, and that was challenging.
Yeah, I could see how like you look at like a motocross by like Troy Lee, and you're like, oh, that looks good, and you're like, I'll never be able to do that because there's too many vents.
Yeah.
They have like full murals on motocross helmets and race car helmets, and like, what am I gonna put on? What kind of mural can I put on there? Like, you can put like a stick figure.
They need to make a helmet. Now I know this wouldn't work, where you can like almost like fill like almost like a thing fill back into where you
yeah, that would be good.
Like, oh, you want less vents? Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm just gonna fiberglass it closed.
Start making some fiberglass kits.
So could you do a wrap on a helmet?
I could technically, but seams. That's the
one of your helmets is wrapped, isn't it?
Yeah, yep. But yeah, it would be, you'd have to have some seams on there. So certain helmets, like, you can get away with making it very clean, you know, barely noticeable with seams. But typically most helmets are going to be tough. Vinyl doesn't want to adhere down here in these tight areas. You know, those tight areas are tough for vinyl. It's not, that's a limitation of vinyl. So you either have to put a separate piece, or you have to overstretch it, or you have to use adhesive promoter, things like that. But a lot of the times you would want a smoother helmet, which is actually worse for vinyl because you have to stretch it around these crazy concaves and curves, and vinyl's just not made for that. So it can get tough. It is doable, most likely in multiple colors, you know, with seams. So
yeah, you probably don't get a huge ask for that either.
Yeah, no, it's not common. So like a POC helmet, on the back of the POC helmet, they have a separate color. I wrap those. I wrap multiple of those. That's that spot I can do no problem. I can make that look like it was painted that way. Most people don't even realize my bike helmet matches my bike because I wrapped it. So I wrapped it the same color as my bike.
I feel like that's a common thing around here. People are they like their helmets or their everything to be symmetrical. Like,
I've been off.
That's what you're doing right now with the green helmet.
Yeah, and then what I started doing too is I've actually, if you're getting your bike painted, I offer like a discount for a helmet paint job because I've already had to buy the materials to match. So yeah, a lot of people actually usually take me up on it.
I must be an oddball because I got a hunter green bike, and then I realized I have a lot of hunter green clothes like just in my wardrobe, not even knowing. And now I'm like, every time I'm like, I can't wear this, I can't wear this. But then I guess you guys got people who want like, yeah, wear all that.
Yeah, we're all blue.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that's just me, but that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that you could do helmets, but. That's interesting because I might get my gyro done. I don't know, but it sounds like a lot of work I would be putting on you.
I'll just charge you for it.
Yeah. So, with the photography, I know you kind of want to fade from that. You enjoyed it. It's just not something what do you think?
I was never really. I mean, I'd already quit it before. Like, was it?
You got some great photos, there, man.
Oh, thank you. My. It's like a lot of things where I think it's when it becomes a profession. Yeah. I think it's a good part-time job. Yeah. Photography, I mean, I worked for famous like architectural photographers and stuff, and I would listen to them talk about their stories, and I was working for them going like how they're not making as much as they did in the 80s. Yeah. And I'm like, well, why would I want to get into a career where it's like you're making less than you did in the 80s and stuff, and it's just a...
Do you think social media kind of killed that?
Social media, cell phones, technology, yeah. It's just... And then it's... What I'm starting to see now is a lot of photographers, it's not even about if you're good, it's about who has the most money to buy the best equipment. Yeah. Like, it's so expensive on these cameras and stuff. I mean, they're like $8,000-$9,000, and then you get lights and lenses, and I'm like, sometimes I used to see it all for that. Yeah, and I used to see a lot of people out there like shooting events and stuff, and they'd have better equipment and stuff than me just because they're old and retired, or they have a good full-time. And it's hard to compete with that, like when I'm making all my money with my camera, and it's like it's just hard to. Everybody's trying to do it too. Everybody's a photographer. Everybody will shoot for free. Yeah. So like you hear that all the time, like how much for this, and you tell them price, like, oh well, my cousin, my brother, my sister, my neighbor will do them for free because everybody's a photographer. Yeah. Everybody wants to be a photographer, and it's not worth it for me to like fight so hard just to make pennies.
Yeah, it's I got this camera for shooting this, but I took it out and took some try to take some photography. I'm like, God, no one would ever hire me.
I tried photography. I think it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm just
I bought a nice camera. I was like, yeah, I'm not good at this.
Because it's all set up for like video. Everything's set up for video, and I switch over to photo mode. I'm like, oh, it's like too bright, and I'm like, I got a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, action too. I've even tried to hire some people that were like, I've had people try out that were had master's degrees in photography, and they couldn't do action. Like, it's just action's a whole different thing, like, to figure out. And so I've tried to hire people to help, and there's been a handful that got pretty good at it, but it's just and then it goes back to just I want to ride instead.
Because that was how I met him, was through Instagram, just chatting, and that was what he was doing for photography. And I'm like talking to him, and he's like, well, I'm not making enough money. And I'm like, that's crazy to me, because I came from the car world where people drive down to North Carolina to Tail of the Dragon to get pictures of them driving on the road or on a motorcycle, things like that. And I'm like, it has to work for mountain biking. It's a similar industry, lots of money in it, similar thing. And he's like, but he's like, you got to think, there's days when I go out and I will be shooting for 6 hours, and I'll come home, edit for 4 more hours, and I don't sell a single photo. And I was like, something like that. I was like, I can see that now, explain it, because that's the thing when you're in a business doing these things, is you got to look at how many hours you just spent, and you're like, what did I make an hour? Is it even worth it anymore? And
I would spend the whole day out there shooting days, and then rail yard was the worst. Like, I'd go there like 4 days in a row, and throughout the whole week sell like 2 photos. And I mean, I'm up until like 11 o'clock at night editing photos and stuff for nothing. Like, you might make $12, not even pay for your gas. So I'm like, if you guys want to try, go for it.
How many like kids, or I would say people, you'll be out there shooting, and they're like, hey, send that to me so I can put it on my social?
Well, that's the other thing that always happened, is it got to the point where everybody's your friend. Everybody's your best friend. And I would spend more time giving away free photos to everybody that was my friend, and nobody would buy them, and that also became a thing. So I'm like, And then people still try to do that with the painting, but it's like, there's no such thing as free, because the materials are like hundreds and thousands of dollars of materials. So it's like, I got it, if I'm going to do free labor, which I do a lot, trying to get away from, but still, it's hundreds of dollars just for the paint. So
let's just say you want to paint this. What we ballparking? I'll say we'll paint the yellow one color and the black another color. That's very basic.
Yeah. I think that's raw plastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's feeling it. He's getting he's eyeballing it.
400.
Okay. I was just curious. Yeah. What have you? Has someone paid up for a paint job?
My price for helmets.
Yeah, helmets.
So my prices right now are at 600, and I've got like actually a real price list of what I should be charging for helmets, but the market's not here yet, so I've been slowly creeping them up. So I mean, they're in the thousands, like, is what you would anywhere else, like in any other sport, motocross and stuff. Like around 600 is a starting price. And you start doing artwork and all that, like you're like $2,000 and more. So same with bikes though too. First couple paint jobs I did them for free, just because, which I had to do because which I proved that I was right, because I knew if I just said I was a painter, nobody was going to hire me.
Right.
But so I was like, I'm going to have to put some stuff out there. And sure enough, like once I did the first couple of jobs, people were coming up and they're like, oh, you really are a painter. Like I wasn't taking you serious when you told us that you were. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I have same thing with helmet stuff. I just got to get some stuff out there for people to actually take me serious and be like, oh, he does know what he's doing.
So you don't have any helmets on your like Instagram yet, do you?
A few.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
What have I done? Like
the Paragon helmets on there. Sample one.
I'm painting 11 helmets right now. I have a race team I started this year too.
Yeah, you guys are talking about that. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to have a race team since I moved here, and so I started one, and actually that's like 4 or 5 people there's 11 people on the team, but there's like 4 or 5 racing this weekend, and
Hot Springs.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So part of the deal being on my race team is everybody gets a custom painted helmet, and so that's keeping me pretty busy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on top of that, all the other customer helmets I have, and then I've got I've got a lot of things building up.
Are you part of the race team?
Yeah, with the custom business, it goes hand in hand. I also own a shuttle bus, which is actually how I moved here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I loaded all my stuff from my house. And
The one that's in my driveway.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we were planning to do some events with the team too. We'll do, go around, have everybody. I can carry 12 passengers, 12 bikes, and we can just go around and ride some trails. Have him taking photos, different things like that. Just have a good time. That's what the race team is about. Is just we want people to have a good time. It's not super competitive or anything like that, but we just want everybody to have fun and be able to race.
We have guys, girls, we have pro, we have first-time racers, we have experts, I handpicked the team based off of personalities first. Like, I wanted just a real positive, cool team, and then a lot of, our team's actually fast too. They can ride, but everybody's just cool people on the team too. We talk every day. We have group chats, and I'm trying to, once summer comes around, I want to do a lot of group rides. And
how'd you find these people? Just photography, and you're like, hey, you want?
So yeah, basically. So the entire time I was taking pictures, those years, I kind of, in the back of my mind, was building a race team. I was like, this guy's really good. And a lot of nobody else even knew him, but when I would take pictures and they would buy them from me or whatever, I'd be like, I'd remember people, and if I build a team, I'm contacting this one. So yeah, I kind of had it all built in my head already. And then...
yeah, everything's a step to something else, right?
Yep, exactly. Which is also why Bentonville Mtb was always just Bentonville Mtb. Some people have asked why they asked me why you don't do Bentonville Mtb photography or something like that, and I was like, because it was never meant to be. It was actually, Bentonville Mtb was started when I first moved here. It was a month here, and I was like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to work with bikes. So I used to have in Florida years ago, I had South FL Hotspots, a Florida website for tourism and stuff, and we made money with affiliate, buying tickets for airlines and booking hotels. So I bought up 3 or 4 domains right away, and I was shocked that Bentonville Mtb was available and all these other good ones. So I bought it, and it started off, I was just going on the side while I was working at a regular job for a while. I was trying to build a travel website for Bentonville Mtb, and then I just turned it into the photography thing because that started happening. But
I just it's actually live right now. I started a website. All the podcasts are on there.
Oh, nice.
I've got some merchandise. You can go on there now. Got a little bit of tweaking to do, but you can do it with PayPal. So I haven't fully advertised because there's some things I want to do.
Yeah, same boat.
Yeah, but so the podcast, everything's called The Rubber Side Down, but I kind of shortened it to right here, TRSD. I try to get that.com taken. They're like, oh, if you pay X amount, I was like, all right, anything outside the boat here.
Short, hard.
So then someone's like, oh, do the Rubber Side Down. I was like, no one's gonna type all that. And then so I went TRSD-shred.com. So I got that. But yeah, and then I tried on social to get TRSD. I had to send 3. It would start as through direct message, and then Instagram 4 emails saying, hey, this is me. Everything's me. This is a dead account. No. Just give it to me. It's no one's using it now. Someone's gonna take it. I know they are, but whatever. But to have Bentonville Mtb available is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and so now what? Because now I've been kind of stuck trying to figure. So I kept Bentonville Mtb, not photography or anything for that reason, because so I could be open to do anything bike related. Yeah. And the way I looked at it, my following or whatever is, if I do tours, if I do painting, it's all the bike world still. Yeah. So it's all hand in hand. So I've been thinking a lot lately and talking to some people about turning Bentonville Mtb, the website, into kind of a hub for Bentonville businesses and stuff that are bike related for basically people that I support, and recommendations for anything from Airbnbs that I recommend, or the Bike Inn, and the tour companies that I like. Yeah. I've got a ton of people that sell merch and stuff in town that I support. So I've thought about making Bentonville Mtb now like that, like a hub,
like a
and
Google in a sense,
because it's already connected to the bike wraps and the bike painting and everything too. I think I've got trail conditions on there. I mean, just make it a Bentonville. A lot of people have always contacted me anyways. They've figured it was like
that's
the Bentonville. People think
guy.
people all the time think like I'm like the city or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You're like it's like you're like Mr. Bentonville in a way. Like
exactly. So might as well like make the site like that, like where it just has all the information and access to everything for Bentonville.
Yeah, you know everybody, and like it's
everybody.
Like, yeah, everybody.
I've literally met everybody.
Yeah. That's
so spending all the time on the trails taking pictures. I met people from all over the place all the time.
Yeah, I still never seen anywhere where there's trail conditions. I just kind of like I just go by like give it a couple days.
They don't do a great job here. In Massachusetts, where mountain biking is not even close to this big, their trail conditions are way more up to date than.
So I think Facebook is the most up to date, but there's how many apps? There's at least one main app that sounds like it's gonna be really good. What's the one where they're putting the sensors in the ground?
I forget the name of it right there.
For real?
Yeah, they're putting they're testing it right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're testing it. Yeah, they can tell you the trail conditions live like to the minute because
they have sensors in all the trails like here in town.
These trails here.
Yeah.
Do you know what trails?
It's all of them.
They're putting them around everything, so they're just testing the data right now so they can get it all dialed in.
Oh my god!
But so you'll be able to at any time it'll tell you exactly what. Because basically I think where they're testing like the moisture and all that right now to
flow feed it's called.
So they go and check it like to see when it's at this showing this much data or whatever, it means it's too wet to ride or not. So once I get all that calculated and figured out, then you just go in the app and it'll tell you exactly all the time.
From talking to the creator of it, it sounds like the longer it's in place, the more accurate it'll get. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
That is insane.
You can see if the trail's open, closed, all these things are listed right on there. If it's going to be muddy, all these things are going to be right on that app or the website.
I think what will be, I don't know, like a top of a trail is going to be dry. Then you get to the bottom of the valley, you're like, wait.
hollow. Yeah. Everything there. After it rained, it was like, oh, it's great up here. All right, this trail's going great. Hand-cut hollow.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, I love hand-cut hollow. That's why we were excited to get e-bikes just because we.
Yeah, am I riding again now?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I hate climbing, but now I'll actually climb.
I hate. Well, do you guys park at the bottom or you park up top?
Well, they closed the lot across the street.
Some dude parked right by that abandoned building.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's baller move, man.
I'll do that. Yeah. I'll do that all day.
Yeah, so that traverse, I hate the traverse loop, man, getting over there.
That's the worst part, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, they have plans, so from what I've heard, there's a lot of plans to expand that area and put in a big parking lot.
Okay.
When you pass that parking lot at the bottom, there's a road that they just paved on the right. I guess something to do with over there. I'm not 100% sure. I just heard rumors here and there, but I love that place. That's probably one of my favorite places to ride around here.
And then that road go under the bridge, is that A Street? I don't even know what that road is before you get the Price Coffee. I think on the left side there is going to be a big development.
Yep.
I don't know what that's called.
All that open land right there across from the bottom down there?
Yeah, so like if you're at Dragon Scales and you looked right across the highway.
Yeah, the building on the other side. Yeah.
Or whatever that is over there. Yep. Supposedly there's big something planned there.
Yeah. Well, and then they have over in that area too, in the summertime, they have Thursday night races or whatever, single track races there.
Cross country stuff. Oh, yeah, I'm out on that.
They also do the dual slalom.
I know.
Thursday nights.
Yeah. Paul Moore asked me, he's like, "You got to come," and every time it was like, "I just moved here. I wasn't ready," and then he just sent me a video. I'm like, "I gotta get over there, man. It looks so good."
I think in March they're starting that again.
The crowd is like, how many people is insane.
Yeah, and, it's growing and growing. Like it grew like overnight. Everybody loves it.
And your buddy that was here before we started.
Anderson.
Was he the one who did the drones?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
He's become the drone
one-wheel guy.
Yeah, he's the drone one-wheel guy in town. Everybody knows him.
So I ran into him up at Bella Vista. This new trail just got groomed. I don't know. We were
Bamboozled.
Bamboozled?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not super long, but it looks super flowy and fun. So he was doing some drone work up there.
So that was that's Rogue Trails.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get right to the tunnel.
Yep.
Yep. So that's some good stuff up there.
That's a great trail. I love that. That first hip is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I will say the return trail, they're having a little issue of getting that dry out.
Yeah, it was actually dry the other day. It was funny. I went there one day. It was complete mess. Like you couldn't even walk your bike through it. And then the next day I went and it was perfectly fine. So there's probably some drainage issues, I would assume. Or something.
I think all that water from up top's going right to that.
Yeah. Yep. But the other trail was great.
Do you guys think you'll like have like a walk-in, like a brick and mortar type store?
Yeah, eventually.
There's like a big group of us that all are looking and would like to have a big building. So I could actually. So I mean, for me, if things keep growing, I definitely need something like a regular size paint booth, because I can only paint like one bike at a time. I can't even, if it's all torn apart, I can't even do all the components and everything. I don't have the space. So especially like with helmets and stuff right now, I could do so much more work if I could actually fit like 4 or 5 jobs in there at a time.
Yeah.
So, and then I've been getting a lot of requests for van.
He can't wrap a van like unless it's in like a dust-free building or something, and garages can't fit, like your van in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's quite a few of us actually that are all looking for a big building and probably going together on one if we ever find one.
I might get at you. I might do a logo on the outside of this. I don't know yet.
Definitely. That's what we're doing on the white van for the Benton drones. We did the magnet on it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do something a little more elaborate on there. But
so if you did a full van like this, how long does that take?
This would probably be about maybe 40 hours, 35 hours, somewhere around there.
To wrap the whole thing or do a logo?
To wrap the whole thing. Yeah, just to wrap it solid color.
Yeah.
That's typically what I did. I wasn't really a commercial wrapper. I did a lot of, I did everything, but my main focus was color change. I did, the high-end cars, changing colors, racing stripes, things like that. That was my main business. But I have a plotter. I can cut graphics and things like that in-house. So yeah, I can definitely do something like this, no problem. Just need a shop.
Yeah. I feel like what we talking about, like $6,000.
Yeah, probably around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And if you go full graphics, probably another $1,000 on that, something along those lines.
Dang.
Yeah.
Have you wrapped anybody a car in town, like an advertisement?
Actually, Jason's van we were working on.
We've done it halfway.
Yeah, we've done it halfway. Like we changed our mind. Like we were saying, we started with an idea, and then we started doing it. Like, I don't know if I like this, and then I kind of changed it a little bit. So we'll finish it soon. We've just been busy with the custom bikes, and we don't make any money off of that. So
yeah,
exactly.
I feel like sometimes someone's got to stop you and say, "No, it's good. Let's just move forward."
Yeah. Well, neither one of us are going to do that. We're perfectionists. That's the problem.
Anderson told me that when I was painting his helmet. He's like, he's got to know me and knows that like I will just keep working until it's like perfect, and he's like, I'm gonna pay you to stop painting my helmet. So you can just finish it, because I'll just keep working on it.
I was in college, and I don't know what it was, but I was making a PowerPoint, and I was real like OCD. I'm making this great PowerPoint for class, and someone's like, "Hey, how far are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm still on the first slide," because you bring in the layers. Like, the first slide? They're like, it's gonna be like a 40 slide. I'm like, it'll be great. They're like, no one cares about that. I was like, oh yeah, I guess. And then I just real short. But
that's social media. I use my expensive
effort into.
Yep. I'll use my camera. I use Adobe Premiere, like professional software to edit, and put all this time in. And then I have an old cell phone. I'll do a video with it, like bad quality, everything, and it always does way better than my expensive, like fancy, like videos I try to do.
I swear, I've been doing a little research that like TikTok is taken over because it's more video related, and people can.
And I've heard that TikTok's bad quality is better. Like it's proven that people like it better than like good stuff. Because
like you post on Instagram pretty heavily, and it's like that should be like taken off by now, like taken off way higher than what it is. And they said like Instagram's like slowly going down.
Yeah, that's why they're putting all these reels and they're.
It's crazy.
Everybody wants a quick like in your face. Like I don't really like TikTok. I feel like there's too much going on. It's always, like just always scrolling through videos. Yeah, it's not for me.
You can filter. You just gotta be. So there was a guy on Rogan how to kind of filter of what you want to watch. So like if you're on it less than 10 seconds, it'll start fading out of your feed. But so like I don't get any of that dance stuff or any of that ass shaking stuff. It's all like either motocross, dirt bike, mountain bikes, or whatever. But it knows but 10 seconds is like the thing. It knows when you're swiping. So like mine's like slowly feeded. I'm like, my buddy's like, man, I just get all this like like girls, I'm like, yeah, you got to get out of that.
Yeah.
if you want to.
I thought that's all it was on there.
Yeah, me too.
I
thought it was just girls changing outfits.
I mean, yeah, that's what. But like, there was I read some businesses put their stuff on there, and they just kind of kept producing, and they only have like very little TikTok follow. Well, and TikTok.
That's the other issue is I cannot get. I've created like 4 accounts, and it's just I cannot seem to get like a flow going. I can't. It's I'm too old. Like I can't think like the young kids to figure out how to like what they're into. I can't figure out what they're into. Their kids are weird.
Yeah. I've seen some that are like some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
That's what we talk about all the time. Like, and he's got some friends that are doing really good on social media, and that's exactly the advice that they give us: is the dumber it is, the more people like it. And we've kind of tested out, and it's true. Yeah. The dumbest clips that we can post always get the most views. It's
like if I put a clip on like so I have a rubber side down TikTok. If me just riding, it's garbage. Yeah. But if I do like a trend that someone's doing, it's just likes after likes. I'm like, I didn't do anything.
We'll do like
the sound effects too.
The video of like you audio. Showing the bikes on your bike trailer.
My bike rack. Yeah.
Stuff like that like goes like crazy.
Yeah, I had a bike on the Velocirack, and I just walked up, took a video as I walked by, and it's like 10,000 views or something. Crazy.
It's like the dumbest
300
thing.
followers on the page, and I got 10,000 views on it.
We're getting dumber as a society.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing. So I try to think about
Idiocracy.
Oh yeah, that's
coming true.
When they what do they put Gatorade in the garden?
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know.
It's got electrolytes. It's what plants need.
Makes sense.
That's literally that's what we're turning into.
Yeah, we're getting there quick.
Young kids who listen to this, be like, who are these old dudes?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
It's.
I always thought I wasn't going to be that old guy, but
yeah, I'm that old guy.
I always find myself like, I always told my brother, I was like, I'll never be like our dad, and then like the older I get, I'm like, I'm just like him.
I'm totally there. I'm wearing Walmart pants all the time. I got an e-bike now.
Yeah, my dad's like, hey, these Skechers are too big, you want them? I was like, yeah, and I wear them everywhere. I'm like, I would never have. What happened
got
to
short hair. I don't even care about my hair anymore. I was
I never, well, now I have jeans on, but now I'm starting to wear more like the joggers or sweatpants on. I'm like, I would never do this. Like, what am I doing?
I went to a whole. Not only am I'm about to turn 41 next month, but I also, now that I'm married, once I got married, like the little bit of like standards I still had, like all went downhill. Now I'm just whatever.
Yeah,
I'm the old guy now for sure.
I got a buddy who's I'm 40, and he's still like you guys can't go out looking like that. You got to look good. We're like. And I'm not married, but our buddies are like, dude, we're married. We got kids. Who cares?
Exactly. Yep.
So, what's next? Do you have any bikes coming up besides the one you just bought?
My bike, I'm repainting it again, and the new one I'm going to repaint. But I
feel like if you don't have anything to paint, you're just going to redo your bike.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I got enough bikes so we can do a couple too.
Yeah, and then I got jobs lined up, and I got a few helmets and bikes where people are just trying to get them to me. So because I got like a bike in Texas, just trying to figure out when you get it to me. I've even got some pro riders and stuff that are across the country, and I got guy has like a race car team just ordered some. I think I got a few people that have just ordered some helmets and stuff, and that happens a lot too, where people want paint jobs and stuff, but they don't want to get it on either their old bike or their old helmets, so they're, with everything taking forever to get shipped, like I'm waiting on people's stuff to get sent in, their new stuff to then send to me.
I meant to say, if anyone ever got a helmet done by you and then they crash and they're like, well, that helmet's done.
Not a helmet yet, but at the beginning I was constantly touching up little tiny chips and stuff on bikes that I would paint because they're bikes, they get chipped up, and
they weren't protected because I wasn't here.
He wasn't here yet.
I need you to get here now.
Yeah. So actually, I crashed my bike twice in the last couple months, and I scratched up the handlebars and chunk on my top tube, and I didn't have mine wrapped yet, so that's one of the reasons I'm repainting it now. I'm like, damn, I have chipped, so I'm gonna repaint it and this time get it wrapped. But so what I started telling people now is when they get a paint job from me, I'm like, I tell them to get it wrapped, and I tell them if they don't get it wrapped, I'm not gonna fix the chips. Like,
yeah, you're riding a bike. It's not like you're like putting it on a wall or something.
Well, that happens too. I painted some BMX bikes that go on walls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's some cool. Are you guys on Oz Misfits?
I'm painting an Oz Misfits helmet right now.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
For Tyler.
Oh, really? Man, he took a terrible crash, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just over there the other day.
He can't feel his face.
Still?
Yeah. When was that when we were over there?
What was it, 3 days ago? 4 days
ago? He kept having to grab his face and move it around because he's like, I can't feel my face.
Yeah, I talked to Jesse yesterday. I was like, is he all right? She goes, yeah, his ego's definitely shot.
I don't think that's possible.
But so him or someone always posts on cool BMX bikes from like.
Oh, dude, he's got like a museum.
At least 20 bikes at his house.
Really?
On the walls, like everywhere and everywhere.
You know, you're at the same age as us, the GT Performers and Dynos and
all like the 80s and 90s bikes.
Is his favorite movie Red?
Probably, yeah. He's probably got that bike in there.
That's funny. But
and Jesse loves it. All those bikes in the house.
Yeah, it's really cool. They're
really
hanging up on the wall.
She's so happy that they're all in there.
My wife would be too.
Yeah.
So on your 5 bikes, you have, are they all mountain bikes?
Yeah, so I have.
Oh,
it's
really?
included my wife's bikes too.
Okay.
My wife's bike. I have the Dreadnought. I have a Score 4060Z, which is an e-bike that just came out. It's made by BMC.
Okay.
They just released it, and they actually had a bike shop had it in stock, so I ordered it. I have a Rocky Mountain that I bought off of a friend. That was my first e-bike, and then I bought my wife an e-bike, an Orbea Rise. And then her old bike was a Live Intrigue, so
dang,
quite a few.
That is a few bikes, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely want to get an e-bike. I just don't know where. I definitely want to get the Bosch motor like you guys got.
Yeah, the Shimano motor is really nice.
Okay.
So
you
my
said
bike,
they've gotten better, right?
Yeah. Like someone said the older Shimano motors were really loud and not as good.
Yeah.
The new one is really great. The app on your phone is really easy to use. You can control how hard the motor kicks in at each level of mode on the bike and things like that. Both my bike and my wife's bike both have Shimano drivetrain, and it's really nice. Where
do you like to ride? Like, if you guys were to go out, or where do you like to ride, like with your wife?
For my wife, like the other day we did Tweety Bird, which was she loved it.
I don't know where that is.
Yeah, it's over in Bella Vista.
Little Sugar.
Little Sugar. Yeah, it's it's just a little loop, but it's a great beginner loop if you're ever looking to take somebody that doesn't really mountain bike a lot. That's a great spot to just.
I got a story about that after you're done.
And then anything in Slaughter Pen's fun. You know, she loves Choo Choo and stuff like that. Yeah, any of that area, G6, she loves, all the trails.
So you guys call it G6 too, and this is the big debate.
It's not, I don't know.
Oh, what are other people calling it?
So Paul Moore, he might have changed his mind now, but at the time he called that hand cut hollow, like, because I don't know why, but he just did. Then some people still call it Slaughter, but then since I've had Jessie on, she said that's G6. Zoe called it G6. So I don't know what to call it, man.
Well, Paul should know that's Jesus, because he knows Hancock Hollow. He likes Hancock Hollow.
Yeah, loves it.
He probably got confused. Paul's a little old.
So first I'll tell a story about a new person on a bike. Where I'm from, we were going to this really basic, I'm talking like the most basic bike trails or whatever, very flat. And with a buddy and his girlfriend. And she's like, it's my first time, all Walmart. And she's decked out in pink, bike's pink. I think it might have had tassels. I could be just adding that on, but it was pretty much whatever. So we get on this trail. It's very light, like downhill. I'm not even talking like the grade's very light. But as you look, you see a lake ahead, but to hit it, you would have to be like a complete moron. It's like over a berm and then like down. So I go and I go around the berm, and then he's right behind me, and I hear a scream. I'm like, oh my god, this girl went into the pond. And I'm like, dude. So he goes back, and she's just standing there, and he goes, well, I could see him through there. And he goes, what's wrong? And she's like, I thought maybe, I was going to go to that pond, so I just hit the brakes. She never wrecked or anything. She just freaked out because she saw the pond. And I was like, look, you guys, I'm not riding with you.
Yep, I've had that. I've most of my friends that come to visit, cousins, girlfriends, and wives, I've had these situations a lot, including my own wife. She will not ride at all. I ended up selling her bike because she had one crash and I can't get her back out there again.
Yeah, this got hammered down the first time.
Oh yeah. So I crashed last at Bike Fest, like second day. We went out that way. I crashed on Hammer Down, first time riding it. And I was like, oh, you know, I didn't pre-ride or re-ride. I was like, I'm just going to go. And you hit that little double, then that burn before the rocks. And I just, the front end, like, just went out. And I just rolled right to the rocks. And I was like, done. Actually, to the point to where mentally I couldn't get back on a bike for a while.
Oh, wow.
And the first ride back was with Paul Moore, and he took me to Handcut. And he's
See,
like,
I told you he knows the Handcut.
and I actually met him in the parking lot. And he's like, get in. And everything I would walk like the drops, and he's like, you all right? I'm like, I just can't get back into this yet. But now I can hit everything. It took forever, but yeah, that was the biggest mental block I've ever had of riding a bike, to where I'm like, no, I'll walk it.
Yep.
And but yeah, now Hammer Down's fun.
Yeah.
But what else was I gonna say? Something about Paul. But yeah, he's a
secret ripper.
Secret ripper.
He'll tell everybody he's not good.
Oh,
he can ride.
He was right. We were on e-bikes. Jeremy was on his e-bike. I was on an e-bike, and he was right behind me the whole entire. I was like, I thought it was another person on an e-bike, because I'm like, how? Like, we're going uphill. You know, we're going at a good pace, and I look back, it's him the whole entire time.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Flying.
And down steep hills, he can really ride.
Yeah. Do you like Rim Trail over there by those houses?
Yeah, Rim Trail is great.
Oh, that's so fun.
I haven't really I haven't rode it enough yet to like really get comfortable on it. Like the few times I've hit it kind of fast, I've got pretty close to hitting those. The bottom gets going pretty fast. Like it gets pretty narrow pretty quick, and so I haven't really got to.
Jeremy had a nasty blowout on that one.
A lot of people have. I've only probably hit that trail like 4 times. I need to this summer I need to hit it some more.
There's a weird double almost to the end, to where the first part's smaller. I think that's how I looked at it. Then the second one, you just gotta pull. At first, you would it would kick you if you didn't pull up a little bit. But it's not like a double where you're always going to clear it. Like, I don't know, it's weird. You almost kind of slightly preload them.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you kind of
after that little drop, it just gets going really fast, and it's like, and I about lose it every time I don't, but it gets a lot of control though. But yeah.
They said that, I was talking to a guy at Mojo, and he's like, if you want to test your suspension where you want it, Rim Trail.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Jagged X built that one.
Yeah. They built some. Are those the ones that have that place up there on 12th? Is that that's not Jagged X's shop, is it?
I don't know.
12th. Where you got Tiger on one side, and you go across, and you can drop down to Kohler, but then there's a road off to the side there, and you'll drop in on the Greenway. It's a hidden trail.
There's a few. Yeah, was that part of the Bentonville Enduro race?
I don't know.
There was one of their shops was at one of the stages, and I didn't know about. I can't remember which company that was. There's Trailblazers or Rock Solid or
Semi-Rocks. Yeah, there's so many.
Progressive Trail Design or.
yeah. If you were to starting a trail band here is like starting a lawn care business anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
it's probably more lucrative.
I think there's 4 new ones that start up every year, that at least that I hear of. So what keeps happening is people leave some of these and they branch off and start their own. That happened 3 different companies last year, at least that I know of.
Oh, really?
And they end up leaving whatever main company they're with, and their foremans or whatever start their own, and that just keeps happening. Gravity Logic, that happened with their guys, and a few other companies here.
Where's the best place to go for Bentonville's so groomed, we were saying, not as groomed but still pretty good. That's not too far away.
Probably Leatherwood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's Fitzgerald like?
I haven't been there yet. I've heard Centennial's fun. I don't know what it's like, but I've heard it's a good time.
Yeah, it's Centennial. I've never rode there either. I've been there multiple times to take pictures at the UCI races and stuff, but I've never actually rode it yet. It looks fun though. It's more cross country, but
that's not a far drive.
No, 25 minutes.
Yeah, right off the highway too.
Looks amazing. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said Fitzgerald's one of the first ones around here, but it's kind of doesn't get maintained as well, so it's a little gnarlier. Yeah,
I feel like anything away from Bentonville gets less maintained. You don't have 20 trail building companies.
Yeah. And then I'm sure Bella Vista's not far behind being maintained, man. It's growing up there.
Mm-hmm. So that's what Trailblazers is. They're supposed to be. I mean, they just they have their, like, I think one crew, maybe more now, with Ethan and stuff that actually build trails, but the rest of Trailblazers is mostly maintenance. Yeah. But I mean, there's so many trails, like, they can't keep up with it all. Yeah. And then Kohler does their own maintenance.
Yeah, they got the little trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bella Vista, it's almost like I keep forgetting how many trails. Yeah, there's a lot of XC or like long, like back 40 stuff, but there's a lot of trails up there. And like, that's why, and like Jesse was saying, is like, yeah, you don't have a yard. You basically live in a treehouse because there's just trails around you. All the yards are just drop off.
Oh yeah, from my back of my house to where it drops off is 20 feet.
Is there a trail? Is there a trail behind you?
Yeah,
as soon as it warms up, we're already working on building a trail to it.
Yeah,
because you can see it, but it goes down through the creek. So. Yeah.
Damn, yeah. Like I'm always looking like there's a house, the house, like everywhere.
Yep.
And then it's just non-stop connecting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you rode what's the place?
Staggerwing.
What is it?
Staggerwing.
No.
Have you been up there? The Missouri line, way up north.
No.
That's really cool stuff.
I think I was there when I got lost.
Like past Jane. Like, is it?
It's before Missouri, but it's off of Little Sugar.
Okay.
There's Staggerwing's like a flow trail.
I was on the Missouri border and back 40 before.
Yeah, you can get on the other side. This one's on the Little Sugar side, and then there's like a trail called Sister Rosetta or Rosita or something like that. That's right in that area. It's got pretty big drops in it. It's like 3 or 4 decent sized, like well-groomed drops.
You have to show me when we're done and look on the map.
Yeah, it's great, and the problem is there's nowhere close to park to it, so you have to. It's probably about a 3-mile ride out to it.
Yeah, we did ride that. I didn't know it was called that.
Yeah,
it's literally middle of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can look across the creek and see the golf course.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I was all like, "There's got to be a better way to get here." And I was like, "There's not."
There's not. No.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've actually driven around because my house is near there, and I've driven around looking for places to be able to get better access to it. You could probably drop somebody off and be pretty close to it, but to actually like park somewhere, there's nowhere close by.
Yeah, there's nothing, and those drops are kind of. They're sketchy.
Yeah, just even the lines into the drops are pretty sketchy.
Because you're not coming with speed.
Yeah, no, exactly. But my buddy did them. They're very smooth, well built.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah.
I know you're like this has been like in the making for a while, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm free." I'm like, "No way, this guy's free."
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just kind of wait and see what happens. So I also thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
What's the best way to reach you guys for any types of wraps, social media or anything?
mtbcustom.com is the website we have. Right now it's pretty basic, just kind of a place so people can get free quotes and things like that. There's a thing you can fill out. What bike do you have? What size is it? And then, what do you want done? Upload a couple photos if you got any ideas or colors or anything you want to do with that. And, and we'll get back to you with, usually within a day and give you a pretty good quote and, kind of go from there.
Instagram, too. I get a lot of people message me. And most of the people find me on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
Mostly Instagram, but, yeah, all of them.
All of them in Bentonville Mtb. And then...
MTB Custom.
MTB Custom. Yeah. Do you have a website or working on it? If
you go to Bentonville Mtb, it's connected to. Okay. It's all my 20 sites are connected into one.
So what's y'all's lead time right now? How many do you have in anything?
But ride wraps, I'm probably about 2 weeks out right now.
Okay.
Typically takes a week to get the thing in there anyways, to get the kits in. So yeah, I'm about 2 weeks out on clear film.
And then you're way behind. Depends.
I'd say realistically about a month out or more. Yeah. But I still keep taking things and just work all the time. But
yeah, we're working on training one of the local kids that's
actually that was here earlier that you seen. Yeah, he's an artist, so he's actually picked up airbrushing and he's getting pretty good at it.
Yeah, let him do his own bike.
Yeah, so he's gonna teach him how to ride wrap. And
so you guys during the week ride wraps. You got painting, and then on this weekend, you have a team. You're heading to Hot Springs.
The team is I'm busting my butt to try to get a couple of their helmets painted for them to use this weekend, and so I'll be staying around so I can keep painting helmets. And then yeah, we've actually been starting to book tours too.
Yeah.
You guys, I like it. You like staying busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we both wake up like 4 in the morning and have business ideas.
He's already been up. All right, well, we start messaging him.
Yep. I'm a
Our brains
5:30.
never stop. Yeah.
5:30. Oh man, I've already been up for too long. But
Yeah, we've been up for a while by then.
What time y'all go to bed?
9.
Yeah, whenever the NyQuil or whatever forces me to bed.
Oh my gosh. I've done CBD, that helps a lot for me for bed. But then sometimes if I've done a little lethargic in the morning, but I'm just like I gotta get my day going, but that helps. But sometimes I also, if you just work so hard during the day or whatever, then you just lay down, done.
Yeah.
Then you kind of freak out.
That's what I try to do.
I try, yeah. Miami was so in Miami I would wake up every day. I would go ride my bike, hit the trails, then would come back and go to CrossFit, and I would just like stay busy, and that's how I'd sleep. But the winter just kills me here. I gained like 30 pounds the first year here, and I just keep putting more on.
I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, I feel I'm opposite, as into where winter I join a gym and I watch what I eat. Like I go to Orange Theory or watch what I eat.
I actually have gym memberships. I just don't go to them.
And then the summertime, it's beer and ice cream. And I'm like, what happened to me? And they're like, what? They're like, in the summer, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll ride, so I'm exercising, but I'm not like dieting. I'm just like, it's the summer. I'm gonna ride. You know?
I was never good at dieting, but now that I'm married, especially, it's like my wife's Brazilian too, so she loves to cook, and they love to cook all these fancy meals and meats and stuff. So it's impossible. I gave up trying to lose weight.
My goal is to just work out enough where I don't gain too much weight.
Yeah, same here, pretty much.
Yeah, maintain it. Yeah. Since you've moved here, what's like your favorite go-to place for food? You don't say like Chipotle or something. Actually, there's not many here.
I do like Chipotle.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, when I first moved here, and it's
sushi,
everything we got here, and then 3 months later, COVID happened. Everything was shut down. Yeah. So we're still kind of slowly exploring.
I know. I've been telling him places. He's like, I've never been there.
Yeah. I have Airbnb here too, so my guests will always come back and tell me about. They're like, oh, this place is good. I'm like, oh, never been to any of them.
Yeah.
Peddler's Pub's good. I like.
Yeah, that's good.
I like Peddler's Pub.
Yeah, I like that type of restaurant. I'm not a fancy restaurant.
Yeah. So. Sometimes we'll do dinners. Like last night, I had to do a dinner with work, and we went to Fred's Hickory Inn. Mm-hmm. So it was cool, but
I haven't been there. Oh, Wrights. I like Wrights.
Oh, Wrights. Yeah, I'd say Wrights is probably the one.
So I got a funny story about that. So my dad's he's like his own Yelp. So he'll write he'll go online. He doesn't know how to print from online or anything. So he'll write down, and so he'll when he was in town, he's like, here are all these restaurants, we need to check them out. Once we check them out, we'll check them off. I'm like, that's a lot of restaurants. But he's like, no, you just keep it for next time we'll just build on it. So we went to Wrights, and it was summer. I think it was popular weekend, where they're like, hey, sorry, we're out of a lot of stuff. We just got chicken, one other thing left. My dad goes, not again. I'm not coming here again.
Missing out. Tell him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told him. I was like, you sure? And then we went to some other place. I can't think of another barbecue place, but yeah, I was like, I think we should give him a chance, because as long as they have barbecue, I'm like, maybe it was just busy. So, but
there's another one in Springdale or Rogers.
Yeah, Springdale. Yeah. Actually, I saw this guy who works with me flew in. He's like, there's a Wrights down here. I go, there's no Wrights barbecue. It's in Bentonville, because it said 2 miles away. I go, I think your map's wrong. And then kind of find out, there is one.
Yeah, that one's a lot bigger too, so they can handle a little more.
First interaction with Wrights was because I ride down A Street to go to Slaughter Pin, so I go across the square, jump on the Slaughter Pin right there by Wrights, and that's where I always get my Strava time. I do that same route every day in summer, and so I went booking across by the splash park there, to try to fly into the Slaughter Pin. I don't know what I did, but I clipped a pet on the rock or something, and before I knew it, I was on the ground, went over the bars, and
oh my gosh!
And the manager from Wrights walked over and he handed me a bottle of water, and he's like, "Are you okay, man?" I said, "You go down." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I think I'm good." And he's like, "Are you that Bentonville Mtb guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
Oh my god!
I didn't even hit a bump or nothing. I just crashed doing nothing.
I've done that on road bike, in a city. I used to road bike if the trails were garbage and I couldn't clip out, and there's people. I was like, get out, and I couldn't. There must have been 20 people. They're like, this guy, he has never ridden a bike before in his life.
Yep.
So best Mexican here. That's what. I'll tell you what's good. That's not open right now. They open this summer. Is the food truck at Bentonville Brewery. It's called Mario's.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Okay.
I don't think I've been that one yet. Yeah.
But that. Yeah, there's some good food
the
here.
Mexican place at 8th Street Market's really good.
Oh yeah, Yayo's.
Yayo's, yeah. Yep, that was really good.
I heard the one if you go to downtown Rogers is like.
There's a food truck in downtown had people come to visit and they're like, dude, it was amazing, like food,
really
Mexican one, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, so that one in Rogers, I heard atmosphere wise a little better.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I haven't been there. I don't know. Tuscan Trotter.
Tuscan Trotter's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a little pricey, but
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was just seeing what you guys, since you're all new here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if you guys have been everywhere I've already been.
Oh, that fish place is good too.
Flying Fish.
Flying Fish.
That's down like Main or 2nd.
It's right on the square there.
Yeah. I've never been there.
Right across from the neighborhood market on the square.
Yeah. So it's good.
It's good. It's good, and it's like it's not expensive. You get a lot of food.
Stuff like that.
Get a lot of food for the price.
Yep.
I will say that's one thing Bella Vista needs is more restaurants.
Yes, 100%.
That's like that's one thing that's like hold me back to looking at. I was like, they got like
B-List Burger. Have you ever been there?
No.
That's really good. They got really good quality food and not too expensive.
So that's in Bella Vista.
Open random hours though. I feel like every time I look, it's not open.
It's like 5 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So I know there's a JJ's. There's like a Mexican place over there, but then what you listed, I really don't know anything else.
Yeah. So there's B-List, and then there's another Mexican restaurant up by B-List Burger, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
Razorback Pizza on the Missouri line. I think that's all.
All right, yeah. Then you guys need some stuff or some food trucks or something.
Yeah.
What about that pasta little truck? You ever seen that?
Yeah, Pasta La Vista.
Have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
It looks sketchy.
Yeah.
And they're always open.
Those are usually the best ones. Though.
Yeah, it's true.
Sketchy looking ones.
Yeah, that's right. Well, hey, thank you guys for coming on. I had a good time, and hopefully you can ride. I know you guys are busy, but hopefully we'll be able to ride together.
We're riding tomorrow.
All right. Tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Thursday?
Tomorrow's first day testing out the bikes.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to ride till maybe afternoon. What time are you guys riding?
Probably.
You're on e-bikes. No, I'm not riding with you all.
No, we have tow ropes.
Oh,
I used it when I got my other e-bike. I towed
G6, I haven't towed me to the top.
You gonna go to hand cut now?
Yeah, now that I have an e-bike.
Yeah. Man, I know it's nice.
I'll put it in trail mode for you.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks guys, and thanks everybody for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.